If you remember a couple of videos ago, I said I would listen to Take-Two earnings calls and wait for things that specifically caught my ear. And the thing is that you got to remember that these earnings calls are when the business model stops being a mystery, and that's when Take-Two really needs to talk to investors. While I was listening to the earnings call on August 7th, I actually found one of the questions that I had, and Zelnick had to answer for it. And this was in regards to GTA Online. So the thing is that when he was talking about GTA Online, he said they expect it to support GTA Online going forward. Significant resources, cadence unchanged. This is why this sort of discussion actually matters, because this is the CEO on an earnings call and he can be sued by people who think he's misleading him. This is not a leak and it's not a rumor that somebody got over Discord. So something interesting happened after this earnings call, and I'm going to separate what happened and so we can look at it objectively. So the regulars, you know my background, and new folks, if you want to check me out, the card's up top. Two things happened that were kind of significant. We had the earnings call, and again, Zelnick said cadence, which means the rate that GTA Online has been proceeding has been stable. He says that some updates actually landed better than others. Significant resources, which means people and time are being applied, and he expect to support GTA Online going forward. Jason Schreier, who covers gaming for Fortune and other and has written several books, actually published the same day of the earnings call. He said that Take-Two is only talking about GTA 6 in terms of single player. There's no discussion whatsoever of what the brand new GTA Online looks like, and no discussion of that is actually planned soon. The coverage out there kind of went a little bit wonky. They thought that this was some sort of a leak. So Jason Schreier said himself this was his own opinion of Take Two and Rockstar's pattern as they're marketing GTA 6. And this was not any insider info that he was given. This actually harkens back to the last video when I was talking about GTA Online. I read the fact fine print and didn't trust the headline. This is the same instinct that I used there, but this is actually coming from a different source now. This is coming from Jason and from Take Two. Also, the other thing that was confirmed is that Take Two guidance is 8 to 8.2 billion in net bookings, which I've mentioned before in a video, and it's built around the November 19th single player launch. There is no separate line item in that guidance for the new GTA Online. If there was a launch window online product, they would have to signal that in their guidance and they would have called it out in the earnings call. It sounds like there is just going to be continued support for what we're going to call the old GTA Online. It sounds like business as usual and not evidence of a bigger platform pivot to a new GTA Online. Also, I read it that same way because GTA Online, by the numbers from my last video, is roughly half of Grand Theft Auto 5 online revenue for its lifetime of the game. And the thing is that that business is printing money like crazy today. If Take Two announces something that's shiny and new, like GTA Online 2, what's going to happen is that that current platform is going to crater because all gamers are going to say, hey, why am I investing in this thing when I can wait for that new thing, have all that money available, and just wait it out until that reveals itself? That's usually basic consumer behavior because they're going to wait and see what happens before they go ahead and keep purchasing in the game. So the silence on GTA Online and the confirmed continued support by Zelnick, that's the same strategy. They're going to protect that revenue stream of GTA Online, and they're not going to say anything about the next version of GTA Online because they want to make the single player launch pretty strong and they don't want to touch anything that could cannibalize that launch when it comes out in November. Also, we're going to tie this back to the guidance number is that $8 billion dollars based on single player. And again, nothing carved out for online, which tells you where Take Two's brain is right now. They want to land that boat. So, what they're going to think is that we want the product first, then we'll reveal the service later. And it's deliberately not going to be interfering with that launch of the product. If this type of analysis is what you enjoy, please give the video a thumbs up and subscribe. It generally helps other people find this channel. Another item in regards to GT Online, I had a discussion with a viewer last week that stopped and made me think about what is actually happening with GTA Online, because there are some things happening behind the scenes that was kind of interesting, and I thought I'd bring them to light. So, one of the confirmed facts is that Rockstar acquired CFX.re. So, this was the company behind FiveM and RedM, which are custom server modding platforms. So, people can go on these servers, and what happens is you have a world of GT Online, and you can play in another person's sandbox. This company was acquired in August of 2023. So the thing is why was this acquired? And here's what I'm going to bring up as my guess of the episode, or just kind of a theory based on my discussion with this other individual. They think that this company was acquired to actually provide some rocket fuel to what people are calling Project Rome. And Project Rome stands for Rockstar Online Modding Engine. And it's a first party Rockstar modding multiplayer platform. It has officially endorsed user generated content by Rockstar. It has persistent custom servers, and it also has an outlet for creator monetization. There's no press release on this avenue that I'm thinking about, no earnings call mentioned, and there's nothing official. So this is to be treated as a rumor, and I'm going to label as a rumor. But one analyst out there named Pete Bagson has publicly said that the CFX purchase was building a creator economy platform for GTA Online. And that's his professional opinion, and it's not a confirmed fact. But it's worth some credence when somebody from that profession calls it out. Now, another part of this was what I'm going to call the Cayo Perico theory. So, the Cayo Perico heist was released in December 2020, and it was a self contained, instanced, and a solo friendly heist that was sold as just one piece of content rather than a map wide update. So, my viewers' theory was that this was a live prototype testing whether players would pay for isolated, walled off expansions before Rockstar would actually roll it out and test it on the new platform at scale. So the thing is that I have no idea if this is true, but it's definitely a good start, because if you look at it from a production angle, you want to see this sort of thing being tested before you ship it mass scale. And this is exactly how you do it. You would see if your strategy worked in an isolated environment on a platform that's already working before you rolled out this type of product to see if it worked. So let's do a quick recap to go over what we've talked about this episode on GTA Online. So Zelnick has already confirmed that GTA Online is going to keep getting resources. We know that GTA 6 is going to ship as a single player product on November 19th, and no online item was dropped in the financial guidance. And my thoughts on this is that's actually revenue protection for the GTA 6 launch. And they don't want to mention anything about GTA Online just to muddy the waters. So the other thing is what I'm looking at was just making my guess for the episode is that what they're going to do with Project Rome, the CFX strategy, and using Cayo Perico as a test case. That's what we looked at. We're going to see an extended look by Netflix in about 2 weeks. Now, I don't think they're going to show you anything about multiplayer, not one thing at all. According to the messaging from Take Two, the FAQ that says it's a single player experience, the pre-order page, the earnings call, and Jason Schreier's own read of his conversation with Zelnick, they're not going to dilute that Netflix opportunity by adding some random thing that will detract from the single player marketing plan. So if they do feature something in that Netflix extended look, definitely share it to me, and I'll say I'm wrong on camera, because I'll just say, "Wow, I didn't expect to be seeing that." For the comments, I want to know, how soon do you think we'll hear about GTA Online 2, if that's what we're calling, after the game ships? Or do you think we'll hear some tidbits about it before GTA 6 hits the shelves on November 19th? Let me know in the comments. And if you haven't seen the previous video where I talk about there's no multiplayer at launch, check out the video up top. That was the setup for this entire video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.